because Zeri doesn't have the highest pressure lane, and later on in the game, you just start scaling, you can just absolutely annihilate her, pop out with the ult, and Twitch is one of the best scaling AD carries in the game. So they end up going for that, which gives them ridiculously strong team fight already. My question is, what do BLG do from here? Viego is kind of a no-brainer, way very comfortable on it, and with Wukong gone, you do want to take it. The question is the support pick. If there's something you want to secure, now is kind of the time. If you want to deny Yuumi away and take it for yourself, again, now is the time. Or you could look into a solo lane, assuming TT are going to take their support on 3. Could make a lot of sense to lean towards potentially the top lane if there's something for Bin, like the Gwen, but actually going for the Gnar here.
Pick?
I mean, I think Gnar's really good. It's just don't pick it into Silas, but apparently that works for TT.
Apparently it works. Maybe they'll be like, all right, DT, you're just going to get mind controlled. You're going to pick Silas, and we're going to win because it's blue side and we got Gnar. But I do find it interesting they didn't want to go ahead and grab a support here, because second phase is going to be very interesting in terms of where the bans lie. As no submarine this time, no Twitch Yuumi.
Yep. We
do get the Nautilus, so some engage to pepper on top of it all.
I think I see Brand the Braum, which I really like. Braum, Zeri, quite a painful combo to deal with. Obviously, you can quite easily stack up the passive with your Q, and also it makes it very hard for Nautilus to really pressure you. Braum also fantastic into Twitch at just mitigating the pressure. And obviously, BLG couldn't take Braum blind, because then you just get something like Yuumi taken that you couldn't pressure. So I like the Nautilus. Point and click CC onto the Zeri as well, always strong. BLG starting to ban away some mid laners. First the Ahri, I think a Silas ban could be okay as well if they wanted to bring that out. For TT, you can honestly just lean on banning more supports if you want, and they go for the Alistair here.
All right, the Alistair. It's still some interesting CC at least taken away, something that Chris would feel confident on. Yes, the Silas also, Big Brain Ox over here calling it, banned away by BLG. So we'll have one pick for TT, and then we'll get counter pick for one of their solo lanes. Would expect it to go to Hoya at this point against Bin, but we'll have to see. Well, I guess at
Hoya
this point you wouldn't need to, right? Because
Hoya already knows what he's gone into. So I expect a top lane pick here, then you leave counter pick for Yukal. Unless the exception is that there's something left open you really want, right? Ooh. Like if you're like, we really want Corki, I can understand them prioritizing it then, but no, they go for the GP, the flip of the matchup from the previous game, which we did see Bin have a great time in, playing the GP and scaling up. Now Hoya will be playing it against his signature to the Gnar. Yep, unfortunately. Now, BLG, the question is, what are you taking mid, and what are you taking in the support role? You're into the Nautilus, so something that can help trying to mitigate that pressure could be useful. Lissandra coming out, I actually kind of like this. Into the Twitch, he's probably gonna have to take cleanse, but Lissandra can still just like ult, you cleanse, then she roots. And on top of that, I love it with the Viego. That pairing, very powerful, because you both get the resets when you go for a play. You're also good at like picking a target, killing a target, and then Viego can get that reset. Chris plus you going for the Yuumi, so this is a good combo, but it's brave into the Nautilus. Bear in mind, you have Nautilus and Wukong, both who have very hard to avoid ultimates, and you're picking someone who is living or dying by whoever they're attached to.
That's yeah, it's going to be an interesting comp. I mean, obviously the Zeri and Yuumi is going to be very strong together. Zeri with any of these members for BLG will be very strong, but it's a lot to be dealt with on the side of TT, and now even more BLG. They tried to skirt around the edges, but in the end, Yukal gets the Corki.
Yeah, so Yukal leaning into the scaling option. Here's what's going to happen, right? Yukal's going to take cleanse, Kepler's going to take cleanse, Hoya has oranges, and when it gets to those late game team fights, very hard to function, right? 3 hyper scaling picks on the side of TT, a lot of range from the Corki and the Twitch, a lot of engage from the Wukong and the Nautilus. It's going to be very hard for BLG to find fights in the late game, especially if they fall behind. Zeri Yuumi does help to mitigate, though, I will say, but realistically, TT, they need their mid jungle to do well. They need their mid jungle to go favorably. If we see another inactive game from BLG, I think it's just going to be really rough. BLG have to make things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in terms of proactivity, in terms of just getting something to work off of for them, because I think that's the biggest thing in game 1 is their non-existence, and the fact that we didn't get to see them putting up the fights, getting those grand entrances set up in the way that they wanted to, and for BLG just being present, right? Like, and looking for advantages in some ways, but as well as making sure that you're not giving up these crucial transition picks and things like that. Like, the communication just needs to take that level up for BLG.
and the coordination. And please, please, just make things happen. I don't mind if BLG lose the second game, as long as they try, right?
Yeah.
Game 1 was frustrating for everyone involved and for us watching it and casting it, right? Just do something. That is the main criteria for this game. Mid lane, you're into a Corki, one of the most inactive early mid laners. Yes, he's safe, but he's not really going to do anything until he has his package. You should be comfortable. And hey, take a look at that. No surprise to anyone, Mazel. Cleanse on UCal, cleanse on Kepler. Definitely going to make the job of Icon a lot harder in the late stage of the game. So please, momentum would be a godsend here.
It would indeed, as we hit the rift for the second time. BLG on the back foot at this point. TT looking to secure a second series win for themselves in the summer split. I will say that dredge line from Yao was very, very close to securing an early level 1 trade there, but does go a bit wide, and we'll just get the calm starts here. Now, last game, we did see, same pathing starts for both junglers. Ended up being a lot of skirmishing between the two, and I think we'll get a lot more of that this time around. Same matchup, just opposite.
I mean, I feel like for Beishwan just kind of wants to avoid Wei, or at bare minimum track him. If you can track him, if you can prevent him from doing anything, that's the good thing. Contesting him might be risky. Just the fact that you expect Icon to be able to get first move. Bot lane as well should have control of the lane, and Wei is going to be spotted on this level 1 camp.
Yeah, the early vision game obviously lent a lot to the pathing last time around. He's going to be going straight for the aggression onto Beishwan. Beishwan will see this coming with a ward over the wall, trying to stay and get this Gromp. He's got the blue buff, and he gets it. We'll see them move forward now, as well as Yao and Kepler were on their way. UCal from the mid lane too. It won't end out in anything. Wei's early aggression not coming up with much. I don't know if I lost Monsieur Ox. Maybe I did, but I'll just continue.
Yeah, I'm back.
Going. Oh, he's
sorry.
Back.
I am back. I had some issues with my feed, so I was just sorting that out. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Wei, fortunately not getting anything. Ended up walking over towards the enemy jungle, and then have to walk all the way back. So we'll be behind compared to Beishwan now. And since they're going to both end up on the top side of the map, that should be a free scuttle for Beishwan.
Should be, at least. And we saw last time, right? Wei was the one playing really aggressively around the scuttle crabs. This early wave crash, though, in the bottom lane for BLG, working out in their favor. You just got to be careful for the instant retribution. That could be that level 3 Yao engage with Kepler on top of it. So that bot lane could be volatile. Got to keep a side eye on that. Still is the Zeri Yuumi, though. A lot of mobility there. And speaking of mobility, got Wei on the move yet again. Will be to the scuttle crab first and foremost, as Beishwan going for the full clear.
Yeah, Beishwan taking a bit slower. Wei able to get it before he's even finished. He's only done 3 camps. Does have that level 3, gets the scuttle, and Beishwan will find out and be like, oh, well, I guess I head towards the bot lane, but not first. Let's get a quick trade on Icon.
Trying to get Beishwan. Oh, he can't connect it. The frozen claw, the flash. It gets Icon out by the skin of his teeth.
But a big wave going to be missed here by Icon, even with a TP. Well, okay, we'll miss all the way, but we'll miss some. And it's really nice for UCal, because UCal gets a free reset on the back of that gank, and flash down for Icon, all positive.
There we go, the level 3 immediately flashing. Chris getting a little bit low. Both ignites utilized already, but Doggo's sitting at full health. Still feeling really strong. The focus from TT was on Chris.
Yeah, trying to find the window, and now with that ignite down from Yao, there can be no kill bot lane without a gank. 2v2, TT just can't kill. This is one of the issues with Yuumi, is people think, oh, Yuumi's so not a problem in bot lane. Like, it's so easy to get a kill. The problem with Yuumi is you have triple combat summoners. You have heal, exhaust, and ignite. Compared to T2, you have just cleanse and ignite. So you have that advantage. They now have 2 summoners to your 1. And because you don't have the ignite to trim the healing, Doggo gets full power heal. Crisp can obviously keep him healthy. And if you try and burst out Crisp, that's great. You know, obviously he's squishy as a Yuumi and he's immobile. But if you don't kill him before he can reattach, all that damage is wasted. You saw Crisp got low, but then jumped on Doggo, and Doggo was still full HP. So, you know, people think that Yuumi is like the freest lane. She is if you bring extra members. You bring like a 4-man down, fantastic. If you're just playing 2v2, it actually can be quite tricky to find all-ins. And Yaya tries to find a window, but we'll just end up down in summoners and down in farm.
Look at all this vision down towards this bottom side for BLG, man. They've got the entire river ready to go with wars, ready to go with vision across the board, just making sure to keep control. And that's something that BLG were very much lacking last game, control. Just keep that word in your mind, BLG, because that's what we need to see from them in this game. As Bin getting pressed off, we'll have to use the TP to get back in response to Hoya's.
Yeah, we're in a terrible spot, so we'll be forced to TP to try and crash this in. Hoya's obviously already been his, so not too big of an issue. Something to note about that vision, which I think was a great point, but it basically is setting up for the dive when Icon is level 6. That is the point where Lissandra is free to move to the sidelines, make the plays. And I'm going to be real, Yayo is a free target. No flash on a Nautilus with Glacial Augment, no Aftershock. Should be free picking. Now, Yayo's looking mid, but they can just go for him. He's got no flash.
He's in some trouble here. Does use the dredge line, but they've still got the angle here, and they've got the speed up from the Scuttle Crab. Flash from Weiwei to follow this up, and yep, Yayo might just be dead. Doggo comes in, but kill goes to Weiwei, and first blood for BLG.
Not sure what the game plan was. It's a Lissandra in the mid lane, not an easy gank target, and yet Yayo goes fishing with no summoners, and you saw what happened to Mazel. Just a bit of an overstep, and now we'll see BLG rewarded not only with a dragon, but with some plates in the bot lane. Crisp also getting some free time to auto the tower as the Yuumi get their spell thieves procced up, so just fantastic for BLG.
Yep, and it does mean that BLG have resurged into this series with a little bit of life. We were saying some proactivity, just get something going for yourself, and this is a nice little start for them, at least 1,000 in about 7 minutes here. But it does mean Beishwan, knowing so much is happening towards that bot side, takes some time to steal away another camp.
Yeah, it gets quite a bit here as well. Should be able to pick up the Scuttle, No, actually, I don't think he will be able to get the Scuttle if Weiwei comes in contest, because Beishwan has no smite and no CC to break the shield. But looks like Weiwei won't actually go and contest it. So not only does Beishwan steal the camps, he gets a Scuttle as well. Massively rewarded on this play. And obviously, yes, we saw the pain in the bot lane, but at least Beishwan is finding some favor in the jungle.
That's a really nice bluff call, at least there from Beishwan, or I guess bluff non-call from Weiwei. Just kind of resigned to the fact that Beishwan had already taken that Scuttle Crab, but in fact he did not. Yao actually looking for a bit of an aggressive stance here against Doggo in the bottom lane, but again, without gank assistance, without any help, probably nothing going to come down this way until, I guess the Ignite's back up at this point, so you might get a little something. You saw Yucal positioning down this way as well. Icon right behind him, though, as Beishwan already reset coming out onto the map, as Weiwei himself getting a reset off.
I honestly feel like maybe TT need level 6 on Yao in the 2v2 before there's anything. I don't think they really have too much of a chance pre-level 6. If they bring the jungler, that can be the difference maker, especially as Beishwan has his ultimate. But yeah, as I said, still delicate trying to find those all-ins onto a Yuumi lane. And for now, Doggo's just been having a final time farming up. See where we're potentially fishing for an invade here. A lot of camps up on the opposite side if he wants to get some revenge for what was stolen from him earlier.
There's a lot more over here as well. It's a bit of a treasure trove, but Weiwei choosing to go for the neutral objective. We'll be getting this Rift Herald started up for BLG. In terms of neutral objectives, though, they've gotten 100% at this point. No contest to come out besides Hoya over the wall, maybe spotting them out, and does do so. Yucal on his way over here, maybe to aggress, but it's already done for. It'll be a nice little objective to continue to look out for BLG, because now the question is where they want to put these resources.
It's kind of a good example, though, of like a bit of a lack of coordination between BLG, because Weiwei goes for that when Icon is resetting. So should GT have been in a bit more of a position to contest, that could have been really bad. The fact that your mid laner isn't there. And Icon's TP's up now, but it wasn't up when the Herald was being taken. So definitely potential for that to go awry, but BLG managed to secure it. Maybe just expecting Wukong to be a bit, on the bot side of the map, not able to do anything. They do secure the Herald. They have a Herald. They have a Dragon. They have a lead in the bot lane. These are all positives for BLG. I said they needed to come out swinging, right? You're playing to Corki Twitch GP. You don't want to take this late without a significant advantage in a Fed Zeri.
You definitely don't. They're trying to get a little bit of something on the bin. Weiwei's right up here, though, as a response. Beishwan stops his back, does use the clone to get out of the stun from Weiwei. They'll just try to provide a little bit of cover for Hoya up here, as they did try to at least find some aggression that way. I will say, Yao was also on the move there, so they did have a bit of body, at least in terms of advantage. But not going to find anything. It's calm and quiet here. Only that one kill going to BLG so far.
Yeah, once again, a slower one. But BLG, the fact they have the Dragon and the Herald, pretty massive for them. They're just trying to find a window to make use of this. If you can connect onto a lane, if you can make a play happen, it would be absolutely fantastic, because then you can turn it into hopefully more.
Oh,
Bin finding a trade.
Yeah, needs to be really careful here, but does have a decent amount of damage back, as well as Bin had already used his combo. So there goes the trading between BLG, Bin, and Thundertalk Gaming's Hoya. But it's still going to be a little bit. You saw also, it's always like the fake movements here from mid lane, but now we're looking at real movements from Beishwan and bot lane. Every time we've seen ganks try to be set up here, it's feeling a little bit like a BLG last time. They just haven't been able to strike true just yet. And now Doggo,
Doggo's dead. Yeah.
Oh, they don't take the advantageous angle there. Doggo will spot out Beishwan. They still go for it anyways. The dredge light connects and Doggo's just dead. Kepler helping. He gets one of them. What just happened? TT up 2-1.
I mean, as soon as that control ward got put down, the one they're clearing right now, I knew Doggo was dead. If you're playing that aggressive in the lane, then you are either completely missing something or you know something that TT don't. The answer was he's completely missing something, and that was the threat onto him. So we end up getting the aggressive engage comes out. Beishwan gets the initial knock up, and then Yao Yao actually following the flash with the dredge line. The CC comes in, and that's the great thing about Yuumi. It's a 2-for-1.
It is a 2-for-1, and I just think that Kepler is going to really like having that one kill. They're also going to get their first dragon of the game, so at least getting on the board with neutral objectives. Didn't even have to use the package for it, so I wonder where Ucal is going to try to use this as he's moving towards top lane. And that's just what TT needed to take some pressure off of this game from them.
Yeah, there will be a window in return, and Doggo should get a ton of gold here. It will be split, but yeah, the tower already low. They'll get a big influx thanks to the Herald, so with that they will pull ahead. But even so, would have liked to have gotten that without going over and given 2 kills. And now Kepler with ultimate.
Oh yeah, I thought maybe.
I mean, sorry, doesn't have ultimate, but has the Blade of the Rune King completed. Obviously, Twitch does spike pretty well at every item he picks up with the sort of Blade of the Rune King. Often go on Rune Hands as well.
He does have the ultimate complete now, ready to go. We're going to replay of that last fight as Divine Sunder had been completed for Beishwan just now. Not here, though. It didn't matter. The CC chain, too heavy. The lollipop, baby, from the dredge line. Huge.
Yeah, just don't flash in a straight line. That's the lesson. That's the lesson.
He'll
here.
be like,
Flash
but I
angle.
was diagonal to it. It shouldn't move.
I mean, you see where the Nautilus is. You see where you are.
Ooh, nice little lockdown cleanse is used by Ucal, though, so 5-minute cooldown on the ropes.
It's good to do, like just banning the cleanse from Ucal as a positive, but this is kind of the issue with the fact that, you know, as I talked about coming to the draft, Ucal and Capital will both have cleanse. Hoya will have the oranges. Isn't exactly fantastic targets for icons. You have to do work beforehand to burn them. Now, Doggo, not again.
Oh, the flash cyclone. The final chapter is huge with the lightning crash on top of it. Wei is coming through. Beishwan, you got to be careful. Now you're getting so much for BLG. They get 2 quick kills. Kepler trying to take down Icon in bot lane. Does he do so? The expunge is just enough.
That's a one-time spike, right? Icon no ultimate, doesn't have that ability to stall him out. So Kepler makes a solo play. Really positive from him, but then, oh, nah, he's out. He's out for sure.
He's invisible. Oh, the scanner. Oh, no. Kepler.
He's not out.
He's not out. Cleanse doesn't matter. Oh, the Ultra Shock laser goes wide. Kepler dies. Doggo gets another kill, and this is why you don't give away the Zeri. It is terrifying in any hand of the LPL.
Yeah, and you see with the Yuumi paired up as well, so hard for TT. If they don't get on top of the Zeri, very difficult to make things stick. Doggo able to kite it out, use the final chapter from Crisp to create some space, and we'll see the replay. So the problem is the ult doesn't initially go off. Beishwan's a little bit slow with it, so Doggo gets to flash away. The movement speed comes in to dodge away from Yao Yao, and that's the thing. If you don't get onto the Zeri, it will get turned around, and just massive disaster there for TT. Here, you know, Kepler gets a tradeaway kill, but yeah, ends up kind of making the wrong call with regards to where he should leave to get out again.
Indeed, as now another Rift Herald is going down for BLG with no real response coming out from TT. You would expect a little bit of transition here as now Kepler's in the mid lane. Got a lot of playmaking ability from the Twitch with the ambush. But speaking of ambushes, Ben comes out of the bush onto UCal here. Yao Yao is right here, though. Ben about to get Meganar, but does he have the damage? He's back up and healthy. Still needs to watch out for the rockets. The flash comes away, and he gets away for the moment. As Meganar will still be up for a little bit. He'll have some movement. He gets out unless Beishuan, he doesn't have flash, and yeah, he'll back away.
And it's a good opportunity by BLG. You know, misplay from Bin on the bot side that gets punished, but he gets out, and BLG instantly respond with this mid lane play, and we'll get 2 towers in return.
That's insane. That is so much value from that Rift Herald and so much pressure for BLG. Hoya's trying to take this top tier tower, and now needs to be careful because Icon,
Goodbye, Hoya.
Weiwei, Bin, they're all here. They've even got Crisp with them. Hoya goes down. Who's going to get the kill here? Somebody finally, Bin.
Yeah, I mean, Hoya overstays for the tower, and Icon just plays it slow, clears the wave, burns the oranges. TP comes in from Bin to secure, and BLG doing something, right? I said I wanted them to be proactive. They're getting gold on the map. They're getting rolling. Second dragons in 30 seconds. I do want to see them set up and try and secure that one, and prioritize those early dragons.
See the objective control come out in the next little bit. Everybody from BLG heading down towards the dragon. There's a lot of vision to be cleared out against, though, because TT has already set up their vision game around there. Still waiting for Hoya to redeploy to the lane. Looks like he was deciding to go top, but decides to transition down towards bot lane. Did have the TP available. UCal does not have the package, though, for this fight, and this could make it a little bit more tricky, but here you go. Doggo trying to catch him out. Kepler, he's in some trouble now, though. The TP coming in. Weiwei tries to get on top of him, but nothing going to come of it just yet. That will be the spray and play used by Kepler, though, so big cooldown in terms of the damage department. This is just Dragon for BLG.
100% secured because Doggo, he just goes over. Remember, it's an ocean map. There's more of those honey fruits. He picks one of those up. Even if there wasn't one there, you have shield bow for sustain. You have Crisp to heal you. The fact that you lose the ultimate from Twitch just basically guarantees, certifies, we're not contesting Dragon. So BLG will secure that one. And business as usual continues. You can see, actually, look towards the bot lane. Pretty big wave being stacked up by Bin off the back of this. And all 5 members of BLG are looking to lean in to crash this one. We'll see if they're able to actually get the tier 2 tower here. Hoya does have a lot of wave clear. Maybe forced to ult to defend this.
See, it's a lot of pressure, though, as Cannon Barrage does come through for Hoya. Means BLG back away. And you got to deal with UCal in the top side of the map as he's taking a tier 2, but it's going to be a little while till that does go down. I think at this point, BLG okay. I would say want to continue to see the proactivity, want to continue to see the skirmishing come alive for them, but they feel pretty controlled right now in terms of the reservations they have overextending.
Yeah, they feel okay, but they definitely need to respect the fact that there will come a point in this game where UCal has package, UCal has scaled up, Hoya is strong, Kepler is strong, right? These super scalers, and things become much more difficult then. So need to bear that in mind with regards to setting the pace for this game. But at the moment, things are looking positive. You've got Doggo coming out with the second item. Remember, with Zeri, 3 items is a big spike. That Infinity Edge, lending the bonus modifier to your W, and also just making your Qs really hit.
It's all about the damage, and Yao Yao needs to be very careful in those kinds of situations. That almost was a yikes. But UCal needs to also be careful in his own right because they are pressing up, and BLG are just looking for those picks. They're trying to continuously find this advantage, which is exactly where we want to see BLG.
Yeah, and I just like the fact that BLG are being proactive with their movements. They keep, so what they'll do is they'll build up a wave. It doesn't have to be a super big one, but they'll build it up in the side lane, and then they'll move resources over to try and prioritize taking these towers. You see, they actually leave that top one because they're just hell-bent on trying to defend mid. Really, Bin should have moved over sooner to try and defend this. He is coming now, but it's very late. You see how it's a little bit disjointed there? Like, Icon and Doggo move down, Bin is slow to mid. Not as smooth as you'd like it, but the idea is there. The concept is there. They should eventually get this top lane tier 1. But unfortunately, because it took them extra time, they will be answered in the boss side of the map. So BLG kind of not the cleanest on those.
Hoya definitely not as rich as Ben was last game. but still working his way through his item differentials, though. And I will say now we have the Leandries completed for you, Cal. Still waiting on some of those item scalings for the Corki, but you're progressively getting there. And I think that's something we got to keep an eye on for TT as they come into the next skirmishes, right? We still have a little while for them to farm up for the next dragon fight, which would be Soul Point for BLG. And at that point, I feel like you would want to fight over Soul Point just in terms of how much, you know, control it gives you around the map for BLG if they do get it. But you're okay scaling if you're not in position. If you're going to cost yourself the game, TT should know better than to just go in, right? They should be able to back off because they realize their win condition is the late game combos.
I will say Ocean Soul will make it a lot harder for TT if BLG can get it. A lot of their setup for fights is going to come from poke, whether it's with barrels, whether it's with rockets from UCal, especially with the Leandries build. You know, with the Ludens, you can chunk someone out to like 30% with a big one, and then you can just engage. With the Leandries, it's a bit more about that whittle away, burn down the HP bars, and Ocean Soul will mitigate that quite heavily. So if BLG secure that, could be painful. And for TT, you know, they're not that far behind right now. Yes, they want to lean into the scaling, but look at the items. You talked about 2 items coming in across the board for these carries and TT. If they can sync a package, they might actually be able to contest this dragon and keep BLG away from the soul. But allowing BLG to get 3 does make things very scary.
It does indeed. 3 and then 4. 4 would be the scarier number. 50 seconds, though, until that dragon does spawn. You see TT are positioning around this way, just trying to get some vision down, but BLG in full force, moving this way. You got package gotten by UCal, though. He's on his way. Kepler on the ambush on the side here. They could get the engage. They're looking for base 1. They're going for Doggo, but he's immediately out of there, and now Yao Yao is into trouble as he backs away. The engage is not necessarily there for TT, but they haven't used the package yet, and that is the big power point here.
Problem is, though, they get flash from Doggo, fantastic. But look at the ult economy.
Ooh,
Twitch
flashes.
ult down, Cyclone down. I feel like BLG might be favored here.
Yao Yao just can't find the engage.
Ults.
Like, he keeps trying so hard, but he just can't find it.
He is struggling. You can't trying to get some poke down. This could make a big difference if they can
Bin over
connect.
the wall, bin over the wall. He's got Meganar. He's looking for it. He gets 1, but immediately UCal packages out. Final chapter utilized, and that means TT cannot fight over this dragon. Will be mid-tier 2 taken out by Kepler, but still Soul Point for BLG.
Yeah, the package felt like it was just final saving grace. Like TT were like, we still have the package. That might be enough. As soon as he gets slammed into the wall and has to cleanse ult away, they know, right, fight's over, no chance, dragon has to be given. And in fairness, TT get that mid tower, they get some camps. The gold lead is kept very close. It's only 400 apart right now, but BLG 1 away from that soul. I don't know. It'll definitely make a big difference. As I said before, I don't know if it's enough. I am a little bit scared about this Twitch on the enemy team ramping up in this game. Icon on this Lissandra, down in gold and losing relevance the longer the game goes.
Zeri or Twitch? What do you got? Who you got? If they're going into like a late game, 50-minute banger, who you got? Who you putting your money on?
I would put my money on Twitch, but the problem is it's not just Zeri, right?
It is not just Zeri.
There's still cat hanging around.
They're
called
the same.
Yumi.
I mean, it's one champion when they combine. It's you know, it's like Voltron, but only 2.
Yeah, but it adds a lot, right? I also think it depends how the fight plays out, because obviously if Twitch can pop on someone on BLG and just blow them up like Doggo, fantastic. Like, Twitch is so hard to deal with because he comes out of stealth, he gets the extra AD on his ult, the extra attack speed in his Q, and he just absolutely decimates.
Yep.
He gets to the point where he'll kill Doggo in like 3 or 4 autos. At that point, Twitch just absolutely outscales. The problem is,
I would say that we've seen Doggo be able to escape a couple times, right? And I know, like, later on, it's going to be a lot more difficult to see happen for Doggo. But
we'll see
I'm going to caster.
Here.
I just caster cursed him. He's dead. He's just gone. And guess who got the kill? It's sneaky little Kepler.
Yeah, and a big thing to note as well, Kepler's level 14, Doggo only 12. Pairing up with the Yumi a lot has put him behind, whereas Kepler feels more confident to pick up side waves. Remember, he went in the side lane and killed Icon earlier. And now things are starting to feel a bit concerning. TT with the gold lead. Yes, the Ocean Soul is on the cards, but unless you smite that dragon, unless you lock it in, those dragons you picked up so far don't really mean that much. And this Twitch is getting strong, getting to the point where I'm starting to feel worried for BLG.
Working on that 3rd item just about for Kepler. And they've obviously put so many resources into this carry. Also coming in here for TT, it's a huge difference maker, and Doggo just caught out in transition. He thinks he's safe with all of his team right above him, but Weiwei walks away.
Yeah, and even here, just if any CC connects, like, there wasn't that much damage done by Beishuan and Yao Yao. The autos are really starting to hurt. Kepler has the Runans now. It's getting scary. Once Infinity Edge is picked up, that's the point where it's like, okay, Doggo, you have to consistently fear for your life.
And I guess you question, right, like if TT approach it as a team, if they don't let anybody get caught out, like you always remember that there's a Twitch that can be invisible at any point. They could play this, but then you think about the grouping up. You think about a spray and pray with Rudan's Hurricane, and like, I don't know if I want to group up, but they can try to catch out UCal as they do final chapter on a 4 members strong. They have gotten Icon in return though, as resets come through for Weiwei. Is it going to be enough? He's caught out, and the scaling is officially online. Kepler goes down though. Doggo in some trouble. Bin with a nice Meganar back. Hoya's just running back and forth. He can't do anything. I can't believe Bin is about to turn this around. Hoya with the kill on the Doggo, but he's going to be dragged out by Bin. He's trying to heal up. He's trying to survive, but it's a cat and a Gnar. And it's a turnaround fight by BLG that looked so terrible in the beginning, but they wiped TT.
Bin manages to pull through in the end. It was such a messy fight, and honestly, TT kind of committed into it. They overextended. We're going to replay of how it happened. So Icon, this is the problem that I was saying. Cleanse for UCal, cleanse for Kepler, and Hoya has the oranges. So he goes for UCal, but can't make it stick. He's able to Valkyrie away. Now, they see the Zonya's Yao Yao. They get a trade kill, but Weiwei's just deleted immediately after. At this point, TT should be fine, but Kepler flashes into the Meganar.
Yeah.
UCal gets caught as well. And this is when you realize things are not going good for TT. They could have just backed out, but Kepler gets a little bit too hypey.
Yeah, that flash is going to be one he wants back. I have no doubts. It's a little bit of fun, a little bit of extra, trying to make the hero play in the moment that you have. But in the end, it turns out better for BLG.
I want to say, look at the cleanses on TT. Both down for Kepler and UCal. No flash for Kepler. This is what BLG want. They're fighting for soul, and those pesky summoners aren't available. At least some of the big ones for TT. This could be BLG's best window to find the game.
Package secured by UCal. That is their saving grace in this fight. BLG know that TT can't really force this, and now they're going to move in as TT are posturing around the Baron at this point. They think Kepler can burn it down, and they're just about right. Oh my God. This is a huge call for TT. They got to hurry up, though. They got to hurry up. UCal package across to buy some time. They can't go across. Weiwei in the pit. They can't get the Baron. Who's going to smite it? It's Weiwei. He gets the Baron. TT after the fight, though. BLG are stuck in the pit. Now the final chapter comes in, and they're cutting off the retreat. Bin is over the wall, and BLG are over the moon at this point. They want to bring it to 3 games. UCal cannot carry the game from this position. And BLG, they force TT's hand. They force him into the Baron, and they take it all away.
He tries for the Wolves in the end, but he won't get it. And you can see the thought process from TT. We don't want to flip the dragon. We know what it could mean for BLG to get their soul. Let's take a fight at Baron. But even with the package doing all that work, Weiwei gets in the pit. Bin is there to follow, and they're able to shut down the team. We'll get a replay of how that one panned out. And UCal, he does a good job of keeping Weiwei away, but then Yao Yao, he goes for Icon. Flashes out, but who cares about Alessandra? You had to stop the Viego getting in. Baron is stolen. Look at Bin here. Knocks them away so they can turn on a Beishuan, and then Icon buys time. The final chapter, fantastic from Crisp to get that lockdown onto the backline.
And I will say Beishuan gonna feel bad, but still had Smite available. Was unable to use it to secure it, and unfortunately for him, it's Weiwei coming in to steal it in a renewed vigor for BLG, who had to keep the pedal to the metal, and at this point, the pedal's all the way to the floor.
Okay, so now at this point, Doggo's caught up in levels with Kepler. He was 2 levels down. He's now even, thanks to Baron and all those kills. He has a Yumi on his back. Great. And he has an Ocean Soul. And he does that.
Yep.
By the way,
no big deal. Ultra shock laser.
933 damage. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, Riot.
I remember when that thing used to do like 200 damage at max rank. But you know what? It's fine. because now for BLG, everything's riding just fine. They are on the bottom tower. They're pushing in multiple waves. The Baron is still on for another minute, and they'll just be racking up the gold here.
Yeah, trying to use the cannon barrage to play the waves, but it's so scary sieging against Azeri. Doggo with flash as well makes us engage so much harder. There is good wave play from TT. That's the one saving grace. So they're going to try and mitigate the pressure onto these inhibitor towers.
I'm trying to do so. That Ultra Shock Laser is going to do some work, though, and just absolute pestering TT in their base.
Yes. I hit you with one skill shot, therefore you have to reset and go back to your fountain.
And it's just free. Look, they're just getting pulled all over the map. And now the inhib in mid is falling, but they're going to have to defend that, try to stop this inhib tower in bottom lane from falling. But there's a cannon that's just whacking away.
Just pick a lane. Honestly, pick a lane. You just let it go. You can't defend both. You give up mid, try and defend bot. But the Ocean Soul, the Yumi, it makes this poke from Yukal just not stick. And the end result is 2 inhibitors taken for BLG. Now, BLG Baron's timing out, but look at the top right of screen before it fades. 5,700 gold secured from that Baron. Such a humongous lead, and BLG managed to find the fight when it matters.
They do, and now it's just about finishing it for themselves as Weiwei taking the time to take all of Beishuan's jungle camps, at least the main one that matters, the red buff. As Beishuan comes back out onto the map, he's still got a long while for the next objectives, but we got to hope that for TT, the scaling continues to come online, right? Like, you've got a GA completed now for UCal. You're working on your 4th item still for Kepler. He's got to be pretty close because he has the Crit Cloak and the Longsword. I'm sure he's going to be getting there very, very soon. But it's the culmination of a lot of things for TT that aren't necessarily getting to their endpoint. And BLG are taking that to their advantage. Now GA also completed for Doggo.
Yeah, I mean, he's really hard to deal with right now. We saw one of the big win cons for TTM fights would get him Doggo, kill Doggo. That has now become even harder. We see big stacked wave set up by Icon, but it gets deleted in like a split second by Hoya. Not really going to be able to find too much pressure here, but I think with Weiwei zoning off, they should be able to get this last tier 2. Bit of extra gold for them before the next objective spawns. And TT once again just trying to defend. But the super minions pushing in mid and bot. You did see Yukal deep push that bot lane to create some space. And I don't think BLG will get anything off this push. But the problem is TT won't be able to find their way towards the Baron. Won't be able to secure vision. There is a couple of wards near mid lane that's going to help them out. But BLG are making sure they sweep out this red side jungle.
God, those Ultra Shock lasers, man. It just hurts to watch. Hoya has to go back now as well. And they're just going to keep pressing up. They don't even need the Baron at this point. But there's that wave clear you're talking about. Now they're in an unmanned 5-4-man route there. Hoya's trying to get back into the fight here. They're under tower, though. BLG need to be careful. They're still making quick work. Final chapter comes through. Doggo engaged on the tower is not enough. And TT, they take advantage of the over-aggression by BLG. They were there for no reason. They were just being bullies.
And I was literally saying to Mazel, I don't think they'll get anything from this play. BLG decide, you know what, we're going to go on the tower. But I will say one thing, that looks kind of bad for BLG. It is, don't get me wrong. But one thing to note is that once again, TT have lost both cleanses on their carries. And we're looking at a Baron in 30 seconds, so this could have been a lot worse for BLG, I'll be honest. Not exactly an optimal play.
4-man.
Icon goes in, big root, big self-ult, but then it's left on the tower with Bin tanking. And Kepler just doing an unholy amount of damage when he's able to auto onto Doggo. But yeah, BLG managed to get away. They don't want to overchase in the Zeri. And now we can sort of take stock. 10 seconds until that Baron, a minute until that Elder. TT on the map first. I don't think they're confident enough just to flat out start it. Summoners is the big thing to note at this point of the game. Icon, no flash. Doggo, no flash. But also Yukal and Kepler, no cleanse. Kepler, no flash available. Very significant in these fights. If Icon can find the right CC on the right target, it can make all the difference. And Yukal, he's got package.
He does.
That could be big.
And Hoya just finished his IE as well, so the barrels will be doing tons of work. BLG want to put priority around the vision game on Baron. They want to force the hand potentially of TT here as they feel like they have the damage. And they want to get TT into an unfavorable fight. And they will just that. Yao Yao in some trouble. He's been caught out a couple times. Yukal needs to find a use for the package, though. Beishuan there. Look at Doggo. He's already started up the Baron here, too. TT, they're going to have to come into the Meganar. Oh, they're going to give it for the Elder. They like the trade. I like it.
If TT get this trade, this is weird. By the way, this is so weird.
TP,
if you get
they're
the
pulling
Elder
off.
instead.
All right, so they've got Icon TPing behind the flank. This is all about the Elder fight for BLG. And now Hoya on the side. Package is gone. Beishuan is in not a good position. Now the Frozen Tomb, everything on top. Hoya's not even in the fight yet. Ox he can't even get there. His team is getting obliterated now as well. Beishuan is still alive somehow. And Hoya is trying to make something happen, but it does not matter. That's an ace, and we're going to game 3.
Felt a little bit tenuous there, but you see the difference with the cleanses down. Yukal, CC, Lockdown, Kepler, exhausted by Crisp. No response to come through. And with the carry shut down, BLG get the resets, and they get the win. Definitely felt like a bit of a fight in this one, a bit of a battle for BLG to find it. But they managed to equalize the series 1-1.
We wanted them to show up, and they do so in a big way. The blue side coming up aces for both teams so far. And the fact that we see BLG get pushed the distance, but be able to respond from that first game is the biggest standout for me. The mental bounce back for them has to be huge, and it was.